Hi, Christina Lukac here with Usborne Books and More, and I'd like to talk to you now about our fiction books. We have a wonderful assortment of fiction books from every different topic available, as well as multiple age levels, even up to books that grown-ups would even read. So I'd like to start out with the chapter books and start out with the ones for the youngest readers that you might have in your house. So the beginning chapter books that we have are our Hey Jack and Billy B. Brown series, and these are wonderful. These are the first chapter books that my son started on, and what's great about them is they were actually written by somebody who is the parent of a struggling reader. So she knows what it's like to be able to engage a child in a book and actually get them interested in reading. So these are slightly larger print. You'll see there are a couple of pictures in there. You'll also notice that there are no words that are going to run off on the line to the next line. And you'll see that it's a relatively short book. It's enough to get your children to start reading chapter books, get them away from books that are based primarily on the pictures, which are beautiful in their own right, but we want to also move them on to these. And there's a whole series. There are 15 Billy B. Brown and 15 Hey Jack books. The great thing too is that Billy B and Jack are friends. So they're in each other's stories, they're best friends, they're neighbors, and they like to do things together. So if you go through the entire Billy B series, you can move your child onto Hey Jack and keep going from there. Okay, another great book that I recently discovered is Anna Hibiscus, and she is an adorable little girl. She lives in Africa with her family. Her entire family in one house. So this is actually really cool because it's a completely different way of life, obviously, than we have here in America. So it's really great to read. I enjoyed it. I thought it was nice to read about how they do things and, think about what it would be like if your entire extended family all lived in the same house with you and how things would work. So definitely check this one out. Okay, Penny Dreadful is good for early elementary school. Penny gets herself into all sorts of different crazy situations. So this one is where she's a complete catastrophe. There are actually 3 stories in each book, which is great. So you can go through. There are a couple cute pictures in here as well. But this is a lot of fun for kids to read. Okay, Stories of Mermaids is a different type of book. So obviously, kids are really into mermaids nowadays. But this is a lot of fun. Lots of pretty pictures in here as well. It's actually hardcover. But you're going to get numerous stories about the mermaids in here. Okay. Pony Crazed Princess is another one of our popular titles. So a lot of those kids out there love their princesses, and this one's all about ponies. So really great. Oops. Let me check him. Okay. So my son's newest favorite is Wheel Nuts. He's already read through this one. He's begging me to get the rest of the ones in this series. But this is a super fun chapter book. It's very silly, so kids love it. These are the characters in the book, so you can see definitely pretty crazy, but they're going on this strange race, and it talks about all the different things that happen, but lots of fun colors and pictures in this one, so super engaging, especially for those reluctant readers, because there's enough to keep them interested and keep them pulled in. Fairy Ponies. Okay. Just like mermaids, fairies are super popular right now as well, so this is another great series, and there are some really pretty pictures in here as well. Definitely something to check out. One of my favorite series to recommend is EJ12. And why I like this one is because EJ12 is a hero. So it kind of balks a lot of those girly stereotypes, and it shows that girls can really do anything. So definitely check this one out. Choose Your Own Ever After is wonderful for the older kids. It actually allows the kids to pick which way the story is going to go. So I know I enjoyed books like this when I was a kid. These were some of my favorite books. But as you go through the book, there's going to be different choices, and you can decide which way you want the story to go. Let me see if I can find one of them. So here. So there's 2 different options. So you can pick which way you want the story to go, which means you can actually read the same book over and over again and have different outcomes. Super cool. A lot of value for your money there. Okay, for the older kids and even the grown-ups, Last 13 is an awesome series. I started this myself. I was really interested in it. I need to finish the series. I only got through 1 book so far. I got to get the rest. But I really liked it. So it's good for the older kids. It's good for grown-ups for some fun reading. Definitely interesting, engaging, So you have to go through, there's 13 books. You start at 13 and you work your way down to 1. Conspiracy 365 is another one of our most popular series, and this one you start in January, you work your way through the year through December. Again, great for the older kids and for grown-ups. Okay, the last few fiction books that I want to show you are going to be some picture books. Jessica's Box is a wonderful story about making friends. Jessica's not sure how to make friends at a new school, so she brings a box to school with a surprise in it, and she hopes that that's going to make her some friends. She has some trouble. She's not sure really what to put in that box, so she goes all the way through, and then by the end of the story, you'll find out what she really needs to put in that box to make friends. A Tale of Two Beasts is a wonderful book for showing that there are two sides to every story. So the entire story is told from the point of view of the girl. She walks into a forest and she gets this beast and she takes him home and gives him a wonderful life, or so she thinks. And then you hear the entire story from the side of the beast and what he thinks about this girl that comes into the forest and takes him home. These books are wonderful. I Want to Be a Lion Tamer and I Want to Be an Astronaut. And these are great because they explore different career options with kids. Super cute pictures in here, but it's nice for getting that imagination going and having kids thinking about different career options and just what they might want to do when they get older. So a lot of fun there. Love to use those imaginations. So I've showed you a ton of books, and a lot of them are great for you reading to your child, or for your child reading by themselves. But what if your child is in between and wants to read but hasn't gotten there yet? We have a solution for that as well, and that would be our very first reading set. This is a wonderful box set. It comes with 15 hardcover books and a parent's guide. And what I love about this is it builds on itself. So your child will start out with book 1, and the parent's guide explains all this, but you start out with book 1. These are hardcover books. When you read the book, you are going to read the small text up here, and your child is going to read just a few words down the bottom. So there's not a lot for your child to read, but they're still going to be involved in the story, and they're going to start reading, which is great. They're going to work their way through the book, and the books are going to build on themselves. So by about the 8th book, it's set up so that your child can then read the book fully by themselves with your help. So it builds on the sounds, it builds on the stamina basically of going through the series, which is nice. I know my son was a reluctant reader, so he could read a little bit, but he didn't know that he could read a whole book. And then when he could read a book, he wasn't sure when he could read the next one. So I liked the fact that they were set up this way so that when he could read book 1, we knew we could move on to book 2. And it moved forward from there. So fabulous set. I highly recommend it, and the parent's guide goes through all of it. Another great thing too is at the back of every book there are some reading comprehension puzzles. So you're actually going to find out if your child really understood what they were reading. A lot of times they read the words, but they're not really getting what it means. So I like the fact that there are activities in the back, so it's going to continue that discussion with them. Okay, I hope you enjoyed learning about all our fiction books. Happy reading.